it was such a part of my growing up, that book. And then, of course, the movie was glorious. And this woman, when she was a young woman, was just delightful. You wanted to grab her right off the screen and hug her, and Gregory Peck, too.
Yeah, I'm a little wary about reading it because I don't know if he's going to be different, if that's going to, like, change how I feel about him. Because, I mean, right now he's, like, such a pillar of justice, but I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't change that much. So it'll be interesting to see, like, what he's like now as an older person.
About whether or not he's
It seems like it may have been the original idea, and if that's the case, then it speaks to kind of what happens when authors get feedback. And if it was something else, then I guess it just draws more depth into the characters.
I'm thrilled that this came out. I mean, Tolkien's son, Christopher, did an awful lot of expose of his writings that Tolkien never felt were ready for publication. The fans, I believe, and certainly myself, are thrilled that Christopher put that effort in. My hope is that the estate and the people behind the publication are publishing this for the fans and not for the money.
It's such an honor to be here at the Y, and thanks to Bernard for all his hard work and everybody else who's been attached to this reading. And I would also like to say thank God for Miss Nell Harper Lee.
Luckily, he happened to be patrolling the corridor when the trap snapped shut with her in it.
Somehow, it was hotter then. A black dog suffered on a summer's day. Bony mules hitched to Hoover carts flicked flies in the sweltering shade of the live oak on the square. Men's stiff collars wilted by 9. Miss Alexandra has to tie his shoes and button his shirts, and when they're like that, he can't even hold a razor. Jean Louise shook her head. She was too old to rail against the inequity of it, but too young to accept her father's crippling disease without putting up some kind of fight. I was telling them earlier that I haven't read anything out loud for that long since 30 years ago when my kids were little, so I'm sorry if it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be.
So what's more perfect than a grown-up scout reading a grown-up scout? What is your response to Jean Louise of Go Set a Watchman? Knowing Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird as well as you do.
She is just fabulous. She is still pushing buttons every time she gets a chance and very passionate about her beliefs.
Much is being made of several sentences that Atticus utters in Go Set a Watchman. You've read the whole book. Mm-hmm. What's your feeling about the portrayal of Atticus?
What you have to do is you have to put your mindset in that time period, okay? And you have to understand what we lived through. I, being from Alabama, can testify to this about the way you presented at home and the way you may have to present in public. If I had ever said the N-word in my household, lye soap would have quickly gone down my throat. It was not something that one said. You were taught to be respectful and understanding. And when you read the book, you'll get it.
See where he is when you hear the question. I'm lucky enough to work on the Universal lot in California once a month. I always take a golf cart and drive past Boo Radley's house.